Greetings and salutations to all you people out there in FAF land. I have an extremely high-ranking 1 versus 1 for you. It is Dog versus Embers. This is going to be Aeon versus Aeon on a water split map. We do have a trench all the way around, completely bisecting the map with a large landmass in the center. This is going to be an interesting game. Definitely a test of skills because both players are on even footing with the same faction, and it's basically going to boil down to a very large fight over the center. We do have 4 mechs north and 4 mechs south, but that is pretty much it for the expansions. It's going to be a war in the center and then trying to get a stranglehold on the map so that you can crush the other person's landmass. Ember is going for a pretty normal build. Land first, air second, overbuilding power, and Dog is doing the same. First land, 8 power generators. That is actually 1 more than most people normally do. And then first bomber out of the air factory. 2 scouts from Embers are heading out into the middle here to see what is going on, but the first tank is quite a ways behind. If he's not careful, he's going to lose these engineers. Actually, he has already lost this one. That factory is not going to get up. In comes the bomber. Down goes the engineer. There is a counter bomber from Ember out now. That is going to run over and nab that Aurora. That will secure the expansion, but I don't think that bomber was worth it. That a bomber killing a single T1 tank and a non-critical one at that. This is a hero bomber right here. 3 kills and still surviving. He's going to go park on the side island and wait for a hapless victim. Alright, ACU has moved to the center. There is a land factory up for both players in the mid now, and Embers is moving as well. Embers does have some more units, but there is a naval factory up for Dog. He is going submarines in that, it looks like. Yes, that is an attack sub. And I imagine that he was shooting for naval denial, but there is also a sub coming out for Embers. So I think this is still going to be an even situation. Not really anything to be gained. That island, that may be blocked to engineers. Yes, it is. You will have to edge build a land factory to claim that. A drop coming out from Embers. That sub coming over. Actually, it looks like Dog sub fired first. Nope, mutual KO. Unimportant, pointless battle there. Transport dropping off early. And engineers running up. It looks like, yes, the rest of the landmass is low enough that you will be able to walk up and build that mass extractor, but you will. Ah, perfect. T1 bomber nabbing that engineer. And the point defense coming up, it will lay waste to that factory and any units that come out of it. Dog is dropping the southern island though, so that will be 1 island per player with equal numbers on the mid. There is a T2 factory though for Embers. That is going to be the first T2 of any kind to come up. And Embers has also done an extremely good job of getting his spam up. He's now pushing obsidians on the center island. Much better option than building blazes and crossing over. This is going to be lethal. You know what? I'm actually going to take back that opinion. I am going to climb out on a limb and saw it off behind me and say that blazes would actually be better in this position. And those of you who watch my cast are going, but Zap, you hate blazes. Well, the obsidian does, what, 420 damage per shot, and Auroras only have 140. That means, everybody do your math now, 280 damage overkill over half of the damage will be wasted. Blazes, while they do have lower DPS, they are faster, and they have a faster rate of fire. They will be able to do a much better job of dealing with Aeon T1 spam. So, I think Embers should have gone for Blazes, in this situation at least. Well, it appears that Dog has had the same idea, and he is going to go for Obsidians as well. So since it is Obsidian on Obsidian violence, Obsidians are better. This is a tricky situation here. Embers definitely does not want to lose that T1 factory because it is currently in the middle of a T2 upgrade. He's trying to get a torpedo launcher up and finally has chased that sub away. Good for him, but he is going to lose both of his subs in the north. It looks like he got the early tech advantage on land, and now he is going to get the early naval tech as well. One destroyer is going to be a nightmare on this map because it will have the reach to wipe out basically everything the Dog has. The disadvantage of that is with... Oh, he is going for sub hunters for naval control. Not a bad idea at all. The Aeon destroyer, the Exodus, will have issues though, because while it does have the reach and the firepower to do major damage to Dog, since this is Aeon versus Aeon, all of these lovely little Auroras will be able to swarm out across the water and obliterate that Exodus before it even knows what's happening. This is a nice little drop to see down here. They're able to kill off that mass extractor there. 2 bombers over here for Ember, but apparently he is not paying attention to his base whatsoever. Power generator down, engineers down, more power going. Dog is firing on the center. Finally. Bombers are going to do a good job of knocking that out. Exodus class destroyer is in the water. And Embers is in a small amount of trouble here if he does not get out of this situation. He does have his own units, but there's an awful lot of Obsidians in that group. I think he may be about to get pushed off the island. You need to take a dive, my good sir. You are down below 5k health. 27. Ending at 27, he's going to jump out of the water and try to overcharge, but the lip on that landmass is not going to let him. Massive T1 bomber spam for Dog. Embers has completely lost his air, and that is never a good thing. Those T1 bombers are going to be able to take out this destroyer without losing a single unit. The stun helping them out in that task. T2 gunships out now for Dog. He has hit T2 air. There's a cruiser on the way for Embers. That is going to do a large... That is going to be a great help versus the air problems that he's having, but it was an awesome little bomb right there. Timing that bomb out right when the transport dropped all of its units, he was able to take out all 6 units in one shot. That was a... By luck or by skill, that was a good bomb. This is now a very dangerous cloud of T2 gunships. And seeing that he has total air superiority, Dog is continuing to push out T2 gunships at an absolutely startling rate for this point in the game. He is only pulling 40 eco. Let's look at the reclaim numbers real quick. 16,000 and 24,000 for Embers. As you can see, despite all of the fighting that has been going on here, the map is basically picked clean of wrecks. Both players, well, this is what you would expect of two roughly 2k rated players. They are going to be reclaiming with a vengeance. It is something that they're good at. Under the cover of this cruiser, these 2 Exodus classes have finally gained a foothold in the water over here, and they are starting to lay down the damage. Dog not resetting his factory spawn point, and he is just streaming gunship after gunship in there, vetting that cruiser up. But Embers has his own problems. He has no T2 tech on his landmass. That means he cannot build flak over here. No T2 on his ACU and no tier 2 engineers. That is a problem. A big, big problem. So here we see naval control wiping out one side and air control wiping out the other side. So I guess this means that both players lose their home bases and they're now going to fight to death in the center. It's a ring match, everybody. Embers building T1 power generators. That probably means that holy cow, look at the power stall. That is painful to look at. Minus 500 power, only pulling 240. Dog has lost his power as well, and he is about to hit the stalling point. He is overflowing mass, trying to get some power up and not worsen his situation. He has finally flipped positive. Power problems are the worst. I hate them. And while we're on the subject of power problems, all of your nice shiny obsidians really are not much good when their shields are going down continually. Although Embers looks like he is balanced. Yes, he has finally managed to balance his power out, so his obsidians now have shields. Dog as well. They're lucky they both had the same problem and neither one really wanted to engage. Alright, this looks like a pretty equal amount of destruction. Oh, this is terrible to look at. That lone gunship still calmly popping off T1 power generators, and now he is going to go after the factory, but oh, come on, little interceptor, you can do it. There went the gunship. Fire base on the ledge for Dog. He is going to be trying to force Embers to retreat off of his island. Embers had the bright idea of walking inside the shield to overcharge that, but that is not going to work for him. Because of that ledge, you can see his fire just hitting that. Although that is working in his advantage as well, because he's standing on the ledge underneath the point defense. They are not able to hit him, but the blazes are coming to the edge, and that is that. He was not able to retreat because of the point defense over his head, and his exoduses could not save him. Very good game from both players. They basically took themselves back to the Stone Age, wiping out each other's bases before duking it out in the center. Dog commenting, what a weird game. Well, I agree with you. That was strange. But again, well played, both of you guys. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this cast. As always, if you have any good replays, leave them in the comments below. Message me on the forum. Message me on the FAF client. Any of them will get to me, and I will do my best to get to all of them. Thanks for watching, guys.